Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Sports Lab. We've got another little quick hockey talk check-in for the week where we dive into the hockey world, primarily the Dallas Stars, check in on how they're doing throughout the season, where they can improve, where they cannot improve, or not improve. You can always improve everywhere, but just check in on where the Stars are at, see what's going on in the hockey world. Today, we're actually going to start off a little bit different. Not going to be talking about the Stars to start. We've actually got breaking news in breaking news in the NHL as well as in the world hockey scene. Team USA GM as well as the Chicago Blackhawks GM Stan Bowman has stepped down today, would have been fired over mishandlings of sexual assault of allegations of a former assistant coach. This incident happened back in 2010. The Chicago Blackhawks were also fined $2 million for this due to its lack of internal procedures to handle the matters. This right here is just absolute crazy situation coming out. Supposedly what had happened is a player for their AHL affiliate had been called up during the Stanley Cup playoffs run as a potential reserve player per se. This player was allegedly sexually assaulted by one of the assistant coaches on staff there, which was then the assistant coach at the time, Brad Aldrich. Again, this is going to be, these are allegations. I don't know if these are necessarily proven to be correct per se, but Stan Bowman is now currently stepping down, as I said. Either that or he was going to get fired. He had no choice here, really, in the matter. He did release a statement today. I believe it was today. Says, 11 years ago, while serving his first year as general manager, he was made aware of potential inappropriate behavior by a then video coach involving a player. Bowman said it. He also said, I promptly reported the matter to then president and CEO John McDonough, who committed to handling the matter. He learned this year that the inappropriate behavior involved a serious allegation of sexual assault, and he relied on the direction of his superior that he would take the appropriate action. He's looking back, not knowing he did not handle the matter promptly. He regrets it, and assuming he would do so. Let's see here. You just got to really unpack this. This guy was, he became the Chicago Blackhawks general manager in 1999 going into the 2000 season. Probably one of the most successful GMs of the Chicago Blackhawks. He joined them in 2000, and he became president of hockey operations in December of 2020. He was the first general manager to win the Stanley Cup 3 times in the salary cap era. The guy is, a wizard of a GM. It's a damn shame that he mishandled something this serious. But at the same time, the Chicago Blackhawks are not necessarily new to some of these scandals. There was some allegations probably 5 to 8 years ago regarding Patrick Kane. I don't believe anything came of those as well, but it was big news for a little bit. This is nothing new, it seems, in Chicago. It makes sense why he would possibly sweep this under the rug. He probably attempted to do so as much as possible with the Patrick Kane news as well. According to the findings, though, there was a 20-year-old player. He was with the AHL team that we were talking about. He was to be called up as a player for the reserves. And he was apparently assaulted at that time. Let's see. It says, what is clear after being informed of Aldrich's alleged sexual harassment and misconduct. So it may not be assault. I apologize for misspeaking. It's not a sexual assault. I don't think, more so harassment and misconduct. Apparently no action was taken for 3 weeks. This one's kind of a tough one. They were in the middle of the playoffs. However, you can't completely cast something of this magnitude to the side just because you are in the playoffs. This is something as a team that they should have been having to handle head on. Obviously, huge distraction. If you don't want the distraction, though, make sure you have your staff in order and they're not doing dumb shit like this. But at the same time, like I said, playoff run, I understand. They want to get through the playoffs. They're trying to win the cup. They're trying to win the championship. They've been working hard all season. Why should everybody else that's been, working their ass off all year to get to where they're at have to pay for that misdeed of one per se? But they are a team at the same time. I think that they did not handle this well. They needed to take this head on. No playoff run is more important than doing the right thing, man. That's at the end of the day, that's what it really comes down to. Nonetheless, though, Chicago Blackhawks GM's out. They're a dumpster fire so far of the season. Last I checked, they hadn't won a game unless they've won one since I last checked. I believe I last checked on Saturday. I'm not sure if they played since then. They're one of the teams that will probably be in the basement of the division this year unless they get it together. What a blow, though, losing their GM like that. But shit comes out. Shit comes out. You saw it in football with Gruden. It's going to happen. Unfortunately, there's some shitty people in the world that are gonna, do some shitty things, and then other people that may, in this case, turn a blind eye to those things. I don't necessarily think that Stan Bowman necessarily may be a bad guy. It may just been a lack of action per se. Probably see him back somewhere in hockey again. He's way too successful of a GM to probably stay gone long. He'll pay the price, for a good while, and then he's going to be back to somewhere else, checking on them. Switching gears, though, over to the Dallas Stars. That's the main thing that we cover here. We just had to touch on the breaking news there. Dallas Stars, home opener last Friday. They come out with a big overtime win. Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys, he couldn't get enough. Check him out there going crazy with that overtime winner. And what a sick goal that was. With about 45 seconds to go in the overtime, Gurianov comes in, barreling down on the backhand, top shelf. It was a beauty to watch. If you missed the game, like I did, I hope you got to see the highlight. I saw the highlight of absolute beauty. I was actually in Chicago for a family wedding, so I didn't get to watch the game this past Friday, but the highlights on it were amazing. That first game, that home opener, was really a big fight for the Stars. They won 3-2 in overtime. They almost went to the shootout. Gurianov said, "No, sir, we're going to end this right here, right now. We're not going to put Holtby through any more mess." But let's face it, in that win, while the Stars were gritty and they fought and, clawed, got the tying goal to force overtime and then to win in overtime, it was not a very good game defensively. You start off with a hit from Hankapaa on Drew Doughty. He got a 5-minute major. I think the 5-minute major is definitely well-deserved for the error here. And this hit did appear to be very dirty at first and led to a pretty big scrum amongst the teams afterwards. But I'm not really thinking that this was a dirty hit. If you watch the replay back a couple times, I believe he missed time or misguided this, per se. It looks like he's more so coming up to finish his check. Was a little bit too far over to the left, comes through knee on knee. He didn't purposefully stick his leg out or anything like that. It just looks like more so a misguided missile straight into Drew Doughty's knee there. And positive news, they're saying that it may be a minor sprain, but I haven't seen the latest news on that. But that was the last I had seen. And other positive for the Dallas Stars is the league. They've decided they're making a decision on this, that they're not going to hand out a suspension or a fine, no more supplementary action. They believe the 5-minute game misconduct was, well-deserved. Now let's get back to that defense. While we did lose one of our defensemen straight away, or, pretty early in the game in the second period, we, as a defensive unit, just did not look good. We looked like a chain link fence trying to stop water. There was 45 shots on goal. Holtby played out of this world. Only allowed 2 goals on 45 shots. Dude was playing insane, making saves that he probably shouldn't have been. Really bailed out the defense. Really kept the Dallas Stars in that game. Had it not been for him, there's no way that this game's even close. Now, the first goal did come early for the Kings in the first period. However, the Dallas Stars, they did respond right back. They got a playoff. They got a power play, and Sagan cashed in real early. Ripper on the power play. He's been looking for that. That's his big shot there, the big slap shot, one-timer on the power play. He cashed in for his first goal of the season there. He did get a second goal in the next game as well against the Blue Jackets, but it was kind of a trash time goal. It was towards the end, just to more so say he didn't get shut out. But back to that Kings game, after he rips that power play goal in, ties it up. Second period, the Kings come in and they score. It wouldn't be until late in the third period that Miro Hayskin bombs one in to tie it. Absolute ripper of a shot. This was also on the power play as well. It looked like they had a 3-man advantage. It may have been off of the 3-man advantage. It was kind of really close. Either way, they had 3-man advantage, sets him up beautifully. He rips one in. They tied the game to force overtime. Fast forward to overtime. Braden Holtby, again, just playing out of his mind. There were probably 3 times in overtime that I counted that the Kings should have won the game, but Holtby kept the Dallas Stars in it. He was making crazy saves. And dude, how about his glove hand? His glove hand is nasty, man. Absolutely nasty. He bails him out in overtime. Gurionov, like we just talked about earlier, comes down 45 seconds ago in overtime, says no, sir, to the shootout. We're going to end this right here. Top shelf on the backhand, an absolute snipe of a shot. I was amazed by that shot. The fact that it went in as well. I think it more so caught the goalie off guard as far as to where it went, because to be able to be on the right side of the goal, backhand it to the top left, and clear the goalie's shoulder, the goalie had to be thinking it's coming somewhere else. I think he guessed wrong. It was a beautiful shot, though. Shout out to Gurionov. 3 stars of that game is going to be Miro Hayskin, Gurionov, and Holtby. Holtby being the first star, obviously. Dude was just incredible. He's the reason why the Stars won that game, and why that game was not a 6-0 blowout or a 6-2 blowout. He held them in that one. The second game of the past week was yesterday. Not much you can really say about that game. The Columbus Blue Jackets absolutely demolished the Dallas Stars. 4-1. It was not a good game. The Stars defense looked exactly the same that they looked on Friday night in the home opener, allowing so many shots on net. Holtby can only do so much back there. Gives up 4 or 1, or he gave up 3. I believe 1 would have been an empty netter. But Tyler Sagan put a goal on the board towards the end of the game, kind of make it look a little bit prettier per se. But Columbus completely dog walked the Stars. It was not good. The boys just were not competing, and it was so apparent that after I believe it was the second or third goal, I want to say, Rick Bowness called timeout 10 minutes into the second period, halfway point of the game, and he gave them an ass chewing. You could see it. They didn't respond, though. Either way, they still continue to play like shit that game. They got absolutely demolished. They only played 2 games last week, so there's not a whole lot to talk about for the last week. So, we'll look at where everything's kind of sitting right now standings-wise for the Central Division. Obviously, we're way early in the season, got a lot of games to go. There's only been 6 games played for the Stars. We got another, 76 to go. But right now, team at the top of the Central Division, the St. Louis Blues, they are on an absolute tear. They're 5-0-0. They haven't lost a game yet. 5 games, 5 wins. They've got a 14-goal differential, 14 goals. They have 25 goals, and they've only allowed 11 in 5 games. They are playing freakishly good. Hopefully this does not continue for us, or else they're going to run away with that top spot if they keep this up. Hockey, those ebbs and flows, man. They're going to get their downs here soon, and that'll be the Stars will need to capitalize and get on the upside of those ebbs and flows during that time. Second place right now is the Minnesota Wild. They're looking absolutely phenomenal as well. They're 4-1-0. They do have this is what's so crazy. So St. Louis, 14 goal differential, first place in the division. Minnesota Wild, second place currently in the division, 1 goal differential. There is a 13 goal difference in their goal differential. The Blues, unbelievable. There's no way they're going to keep this pace all year. They will cool down. They still may be good, but they'll cool down. The Wild, though, they look really good. They have a 1 goal differential. They found a way to get wins in every game except for 1 so far. They are not looking like a bad squad out the gates. They've hit their stride pretty early. Coming in at third place is none other than our Dallas Stars. About average start. If they keep playing the way they're playing, they will not expect to keep staying in that third spot. They're 3-3 throughout the season so far. 3 games, 3 wins, 3 losses. They've got a -3 goal differential, so the games they've lost big. That's primarily due to that Kings game where they lost, I believe, was it 6-2, something like that. They'll get it, though. They'll bounce back, though. Once that top line really gets rolling, that they're going to be a, force to reckon with, per se. Stars are, I think, going to get north of that 500 mark here soon. Once they find that stride, it's just a matter of when. They need to not delay and wait, though. We're not going to have another franchise tying win streak again, or we may, who knows, but it's very unlikely that we do. We can't have like what we did a couple of seasons ago, have an absolutely abysmal start and then just go on a tear. We've got to get going now. They've got to get above that 500 line, find ways to get power plays, get their power play unit on the ice, do some damage. But yeah, if that were to be or if the season were to end today, that's where we're at. Like I said, we're way early in though. Got 76 games left to go, so no telling. Anyways, though, moving on. Coming up this week, we got a couple big games coming up. 3 games between now and our next episode here. First game is going to be tomorrow night. We got the Golden Knights on October the 27th, Wednesday, for you guys that aren't tuning in live on this Tuesday here. We're going to have the Golden Knights at home. Finally going to get a couple games at home this time around instead of so many on the road. We'll have one game on the road, but the other 2 are going to be at home. First game, though, is going to be tomorrow night at home. Golden Knights. This is going to be a tough matchup. The Stars can't be caught flat-footed. They've got to get the speed. They've got to match the speed of the Golden Knights. That defense is going to have to toughen up. If they get 40 shots on goal like some of these games were this past week, you can bet the Golden Knights are going to put up at least 4 goals if that's the case, unless, Braden Holtby, of course, just has something to say about it. Friday, another home game. Got a rematch against the Senators. They embarrassed us the first time we went and played them. They're not a good team. We should not have gotten our ass beat like we did by them. I think maybe the first game Stars may have, looked past them. Hopefully they're not doing the same this time. Get another win at home. If we can get 2 home wins in this next week, snag 4 points off the board, that's going to be a solid week. Wrap out the week a week from today. Next Tuesday night, which will actually begin the show at the end of the game. We're not going to start the show during the game or anything like that. But the Stars are going to be traveling up to Winnipeg, take on the Jets. This right here is going to be a big Central Division matchup for us as well. We really need to get a win here. The Jets are actually the 4th place team. We talked about the top 3 teams right now in the division. Jets are 4th. They're going to be one of the teams that we're jockeying with for position at the end of the season on who's going to the playoffs, who's not. That's a big game. We need to win. Need a big win. If we can get, 1 game at home and that 1 on the road, still 2 points from the Jets, that's great. If we can get 2 at home and then maybe, send an overtime loss to the Jets, that's an all right trip. Absolute success, obviously, get 2 points in every game, collect them all. Realistically, it's going to be tough to get the 2 tomorrow night against the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights are a really good squad. If we can squeak out with 1 with them, I think we should be happy with that. If we can get the 2, even better. The key is getting points, so you got to get at least something out of it. We really don't want to get a regulation loss here. But it is the Vegas Knights. They are a very good team. It's going to be a tough fought win. Realistically, the other 2 games, I think we've got a lot better shots at as well. We should be able to take home the 2 in each of those other 2 matchups. So 2 of 3 games, bringing home 2 points, not bad. If we can steal a point or 2 in that Golden Knights game as well, that'll just make this an excellent week to round out. Now, to make it that excellent week, you've got to be on the lookout for a couple of our players. These are our players that are the ones that you need to be watching for the week. First on that list is going to be Miro Hayskin. Dude's been on a tear since the season started. The past 5 games, he has 4 points in those games. I mean, the dude is just unreal. Signed him to a big money contract. He's proving why he is, worth that contract per se. Next on that list, though, that we've got here, players to watch and keep playing as well as they have been, and that's going to be Tyler Sagan. We mentioned earlier he has 2 goals, 2 games. One of those was in trash time. I don't give a damn. It's an NHL goal, and he scored a goal. He's got 2 goals in 2 games. Look for him to keep that streak up. Tyler Sagan's one. Whenever it comes in bunches. Expect this streak to continue. Get some help from the bottom players as well at the same time. Maybe Rope come along, get a little goal in there. Maybe Guryanov keep his hot streak that he's got going as well. And then Sagan take off. This team be able to skate with anybody at that point. Next player and final player that I've got on the list to watch, is going to be Braden Holtby, man. First of all, look at that glove hand. That glove hand there. He's got a glove on him, man. He is a standout goalie. He looks like he is back in form to what he was with the Capitals. That is something the Stars harped on when they brought him in. They said, hey, if we can get half as good of the performance as he had with his run with the Capitals to the Stanley Cup Finals, we're in for a good treat with him while Ben Bishop's out. Braden Holtby's looking to resurrect his career. He's playing like it. He started 5 of our first 6 games. He's got a 2 goals against average. He's .939 save percentage, and he picked up a win when the defense left them out to dry this past week with 40+ shots in a game. He keeps it up. The Stars team is going to keep at it. He knows the Stars way. The Stars way is to let your goalie continue to bail you out and get in these shootouts and hope for the best. And so far, he's been up to the task. Anyways, though, that's what we got for this week coming up on the Stars. I'm looking forward to watching these upcoming games. Only 3 this week, or we got 3 this week versus the 2 that we had last week. Again, next week we are going to be coming in live probably after the Stars game. Don't really want to be doing it during the game. I like to watch the game, see what's going on. We will come on after the game, though. Come tune in with us. Hopefully we'll be celebrating a big win over the Jets. In the meantime, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Check out these videos that get suggested here, on the page. Just keep on tuning in. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in so far. You guys keep doing your thing. Appreciate it, guys. Peace.